This is Julian.
G'day. I'm running the New Zealand Divisional Cavalry using the New Zealand Divisional Cavalry card. Along with them, I've also got a Grant Squadron supported by one Crusader troop. I'm using the big Bofors unit of 6 Bofors, and I have one pretty small British motorised infantry platoon company, and it's got only 2 6-pounders. We're still working on building those up. And I've also got soft transport for the infantry platoon.
Cool. Okay, this is my force here, led by, it's a Panzer III force, led by a long Panzer III, no up armour. Then we've got a unit of all Panzer IV 3 shorts, then another unit with 1 long and 4 shorts. We've got 3 Panzer IV longs, 2 groups of armoured cars. One's got the upgrade to the 2.8 centimetre squeeze bore, and an 88, and that's it. Oh, and the Panzer II recce unit there. Okay, Julian's deployed. He's put his minefield markers out the front there. Yep, so blocking the avenues for my approach. I'm going to have to think about how to get past those. A motor platoon at the front objective, backed up by the honey formation, the full honey formation by the looks. We've got some carriers on the back here. Bofors holding the centre objective. I don't think I really want to go near that with anything lighter than a Panzer III. Another formation of carriers over this side. So, and he's also got the 6-pounders in reserve with ambush, yes. A flight of Hurricanes on board, ready for action, and the Grants and Crusaders in reserve. So yeah. Okay, I've stacked this side of the battlefield with basically all my Panzer IIIs. That's the company HQ at the back there. Got the Panzer IVs and the 88 on the ridge to give me cover, and a light strike force going around the side. I've just suddenly realised I probably should have crossed the railway tracks to start with. But anyway, we'll see how it all pans out. Okay, as you can see, basically I've charged forward with everything. I had about 5 shots and managed to knock out one of the honeys over here on the ridge. Yep, but apart from that, really my turn was spent manoeuvring. So, it's over to Julian's turn. Okay, so you want to tell him what happened?
Okay, carrier patrols redeployed to this flank from reserve. I'm going to try and hold off his light scout formations with mine. Over here, the 6-pounder platoon popped out of ambush on top of the hill where they'd been digging deep for the last week, exacted revenge on the Panzer IIIs, but otherwise missed with the other shots. Everybody else held their fire.
Oh yeah, and the Hurricanes came in, scored 1 hit, which I amazingly bounced off the back armour of my Panzer IVs. So I breathed a huge sigh of relief when that happened. Alright, next turn, my turn. Okay, so I've moved up, pushed the this Panzer III platoon and the HQ around this rock outcrop. Fired the back Panzer III platoon, which stayed stationary, and plucked off one of the 6-pounders. Over the far side there, my recce cars managed to bail out one of the marauding carriers. So yeah, apart from that, not much happened. Really all about next turn, I guess. Cool, over to Julian. Oh no, it's more dirty hurricane action.
Yes! Make them pay, what?
Oh dear. Okay, not a bad turn for Julian this time. Hurricanes came in and dealt 2 bailed out results to my back Panzer IIIs. The 6-pounder on the ridge and one of the honeys put some rather large holes in the front 2 Panzer IIIs. Unit's still in good spirits though. Over the other side, nothing much happened, and down here in the centre, the Bofors took some cheeky long shots, scoring one hit, but no result on the Panzer IV. Okay, so I've got to do some damage here. Otherwise, yeah, my losses will be for nothing. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Okay, did manage to get some carnage in here, but yeah, it wasn't quite as good as I'd hoped. We've still got 3 bailed out honeys on the ridge. Yeah, I foolishly went in to assault the motor rifles on the down here, but I forgot about the 6-pounder, and he nailed the only tank that could get into combat. So
it's the heroic 6-pounder.
yeah. Down here I'm a little bit stuck because I'm failed cross checks on 2 of these tanks, which is why there's only 1 in combat. However, they did shoot up on the ridge, giving me a 50-50 for them to hit the turret or the hull. Yeah, anyway, over on the far side, whole lot of bailing and only a little bit of destroying from the 2cm guns on the light vehicles. So yeah, yeah, I really wish I hadn't shot the 88 at the Hurricanes. Might have been a bit more useful here, because I suspect we're going to see some tanks getting back in and giving this closest Panzer III platoon a taste of its own medicine.
Not to mention reinforcements are due.
Oh, sugar. Oh dear. Righto, over to Julian. Wow, what a turn. There was a bit of running going on here.
Redeploying.
Redeploying, yes. Advance towards the rear. So, although 2 of the honeys got back in, both platoons failed their last stand tests and ran away, leaving the poor CNC bailed out in full sight of enemy guns. He's not gonna like his next turn. Over on the far side, all those bales got, well, most of those bales sort of got converted when one of the platoons of carriers ran away after failing its last stand. And the other guys, although they passed their last stand, they're still bailed out. So, and managed to bounce a Bofors shot off the front of an armoured car with a lucky 6. So I'm feeling quite confident about the far side there. Less so about the scrum in the middle, because I've still got to negotiate minefields before I can even think about getting, and terrain, before I can think about getting in to push on that objective. And there's a 6-pounder still sitting on the ridge. So yeah.
Our British reserves did not arrive.
Yes, that's correct. Oh, right. Oh well, you'll see a nice burning wreck of a company command Panzer III there. You might also notice that he didn't have any trouble from guns or tanks on the ridge. He was blown away by the boy's anti-tank rifle.
A true hero.
That man deserves his tea. Oh no.
Extra rum rations.
Yeah, so basically what happened here is the Panzer IVs sniped the 6-pounder. That was all looking very good. The 88 sniped the formation commander. Yeah, and but I got myself sort of bogged up in the rocks and could only get 1 tank into contact, which was the company command tank. So, yeah. The Butcher's Bill on the other side of the battlefield is slightly better in my favour, but I still don't think I've got much answer to the Bofors. Yeah, I managed to peel off another universal carrier and bail out another one as well. So, yeah, but yeah. 2 dice for reserves this turn, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll be
the RAF is still flying.
Oh yeah, so lucky to still have tanks. Bail out results instead of destroys was good, but yes. Anyway, over to Julian's next turn. 5, is it? 6? Yep. Yeah, 5. All right. Okay, so the Grants arrived and dashed onto the battlefield. The Hurricanes arrived again and shot up the last two tanks from this platoon of Panzer IIIs. Bailed both of them out, but didn't destroy them, even though there was 2 penetrating hits. Actually, pretty lucky on my part there. And both has had some cheeky shots. They scored a hit on this Panzer IV here, all the way from over here. Managed to bounce that. That was fairly lucky. They also managed to score a hit on the front platoon of Panzer IIIs. So yeah, we're not much happened in that turn, but yeah, it's still pretty dicey. I can't win at the end of this turn because I'm just out of range with for the objective. So yeah, I'm going to have to fight for it. Yeah, and the Grants have come in to add a little bit of flavour to the mix, so we'll see how it goes. What can I say? I am beginning to hate that freaking boy's anti-tank rifle. He has now not only destroyed one tank, but bailed out another assaulting tank. The platoon has also held off the Panzer assault. No casualties to me, but they've gone and backed them off into a minefield, so I have to test to get out of the minefield if I want to do anything next turn. Or I could just sit in there, but you know. Yeah, interesting. Things aren't going quite as well. We've got a scrum of dead and destroyed and bailed out tanks, and it's just not happening for me. But this man, he's really sad. Well, things could have gone a lot worse. I could have lost the game in the morale phase. So I've just done it. So yeah, basically I've lost 2 Panzer IVs to pretty good shooting from the Grants. Yeah, being bailed out and not being able to use my consolidation move or even the back off move to put myself in a better position sort of cost them there. However, this Panzer III platoon's got back in, so I've still got 2 full units and one very shaky unit on the table. Yeah, but I'm just getting snagged up in the terrain and the enemy troops in front of this objective, and I'm just not able to push anything off. So it's going to be difficult. I could even lose one of those Panzer IIIs into the minefield again. So yeah, it's going to be it's a do or die turn, and I'm not confident, but we are going to do it. Stop with the mirth, sir. Okay, the boy's anti-tank rifle didn't manage to destroy or bail a tank in defensive fire this turn. However, he advanced and captured a fleeing Panzer III as they broke off. And I'm just wondering why we even bother bringing tanks. I mean... And as far as my shooting went, I think the only thing I killed was a 2-inch mortar. But yeah, we're just not feeling the love down here. We're stuck in positions where we've got our backs to minefields and destroyed tanks everywhere, and there's just nowhere to run away to if we fail our cross test. It's ridiculous. And nothing happened over the other side. Of course, Julian's feeling mortified about this.
Terrible. Yeah, there's a Victoria Cross coming up though for the anti-tank guy. Just outstanding valor and gallantry.
I think your anti-tank rifle has killed more tanks than boys' anti-tank rifles actually killed in the desert.
More than 8 honey tanks did anyway, that's for sure.
Oh well, we'll see what Julian's retaliation is, but I'm looking very thin on the ground. I could disappear in this turn. Well, it could have been worse. I lost 1 Panzer III and then a Panzer IV to morale. So I've still got 2 Panzer IIIs sitting over here cowering behind the hill. But as far as this game goes, I don't think that's going to be enough to hold back the tide of grants that's coming towards me. So we might call it at the end of this turn, but yeah, I'll see what sort of damage I can do and whether I can hang in there. Well, I caused no casualties that turn, so yeah, I've called it. I just can't push on that objective. Yeah, just I've yeah got cluttered up and just can't find a way forward with all the mines and everything there. So, to you, sir, a stunning victory. To me, an ignominious defeat.
For the sacrifice.
Yeah, and we forgot to mention that the boys' anti-tank rifle and his commander decided that they'd done enough in this war and they'd decided to go home for a cup of tea. So, yeah, even that didn't help me out. Still losing far too many tanks. Yeah, just don't have a response to those grants. All right, thanks, guys.